Alright, here we go. Look at these nice fancy overlays all put together by the guys at 1for1, looking slick. We've got Nagano and Serrano playing the USF and the Brits versus Yingnou and Tomb, the Ninja Squad team. One thing to note about this tournament is that mixed factions were actually required, so no mirrored factions. We've got OKW and Austir, and obviously that's the only option for mixed factions. And then we've also got Serrano and, the Brits and the U.S. forces, like I mentioned earlier. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Do a quick overview of the commanders while we got the early capping order going on. Looks like all vanilla commanders for our British player minus Vanguard. I guess I didn't see that one. Obviously, Vanguard's well known. Probably the strongest commander for the Brits. And then we've also got an early rifle company choice here from Serrano, so likely going to call in that vetted rifleman once he gets the manpower for it. The Brit infantry section is positioned nicely behind this green cover. This is an area that you definitely want to hold. The Brits don't have a lot of early squads, and this squad is probably, wow, actually doesn't get suppressed. That's really surprising. I fully expected that squad to get suppressed. But the infantry section hops in the house. Looking good. That's a strong position for an infantry section to be in, although I guess there are 3 windows there, but only one of the squads is actually, one of the models is actually firing out of that window. It's really weird. You got a Kubel start for our OKW player. These rear echelon are going to stall for the riflemen. They're going to try and flank. They've actually got a 2-sided flank set up here, so really nicely played by Serrano. That Kubel's going to get forced back, and it's actually in danger of going down. He's going to have to pull all the way back and get some repairs from these combat engineers. And so far, there's kind of 2 separate 1v1s going on here. The Kubel is going to deny any further aggression from the USF player, and we've got a really early battle group headquarters going up. This is a great map for it. It cuts your retreat path in half, basically, and it's really hard to pressure it. We'll see how the Allies manage to try and pressure in that spot. There's something you don't see a whole lot of Brit infantry section flanking. An MG. He's going to hop in the house and actually going to force off both of these support weapons. The other Brit infantry section is also moving up to take some shots on that MG, and this infantry section's actually going to take a ton of damage from the MG in that house. But here's some nice team play. USF player flanking in, forces a retreat. The Kubel also coming in to support. So all of the American players' infantry have now massed on one side. They completely switched sides on him. Kubel's going to try and suppress this rear echelon squad. He's going to have to get out of here. He is really dangerously low. Riflemen get a position for green cover to force off the Kubel. So far, no tech yet from the American player. He's got to be thinking about teching. Here we go. So he has teched. Serrano's going to go with the captain, probably going to rush a Stewart. And the Austir player is just now teching Tier 2, so he will have hopefully a pack out in time. And this is something that I see a lot of players do. This actually doesn't cut off Nagano from anything because he's still connected by this strat point over here. Now if they were to take both of those, cut both players off entirely. Oh god, these infantry sections are going to really risky spot there with the mortar fire. And here we go. Wow, really? Really? You're just going to go double LEIG right off the bat? Okay, the Allies are really going to have to punish this lack of actual direct fighting units. With only 2 infantry units on the field, our OKW player has basically no field presence. I mean, I know the LEIG is great and all, but rushing 2 of them this early in the game, I don't know, leaves you open to getting pushed off the map if the Allies can capitalize on it. The thing is, retreats are so brutal on this map. You have to run so far back to base. So every time you get suppressed and maybe even pinned by one of those LEIGs. You have to run so far. Brit infantry sections sticking there. He's gonna stick it out. He's right by that husk of a car. Nice Vickers placement there. Gonna force that flamer off. Infantry section almost goes down. There's been almost no harassment up on this left side of the map from Serrano. The Kubel's still in the field. One bazooka shot's gonna take it down though. We got another rifle squad gonna try and get an angle on this Kubel wagon. Sternpio's gonna force off the captain. The rifles are gonna push up just enough to force the Kubel off. Might get it. Doesn't quite do enough damage to finish it off. There you go. The Royal Engineers. Okay, so we have squad sizes from the British player. Interesting, interesting. Nagano's got the early squad size upgrade. He's going to have to hop out of that building to avoid the rifle nade. The majority of his infantry is now back at base reinforcing, minus the sniper, which has been doing good work. 6 kills. Gonna have to back off here though. We'll see if maybe somebody in chat can explain how to pronounce that. Let's see if he can. We're losing a capture point. Now we've got a back howitzer on the field. Oh, the support weapons. That's interesting. He placed a sandbag inside the green cover, inside the trench. You don't see that real often. I guess it's so that he can continue capping while in cover. Because if you try to utilize this green cover here or that trench, you won't actually be in the capping circle. Uh-oh. This 3 echelon squad is awfully low, and this tier 4 building is getting set up here, so a really aggressive tier 4 placement. If they can defend it well, it'll be a really nice strong point over here with the HQ right there. It'll just completely deny any harassment of this left side. They're going to have to go all in to clear it out. Now both players kind of setting up static lines. The LEIGs are positioned back behind the munitions point. And looks like GP is actually triple capped, and there's not a whole lot of room for them to be aggressive right now. They've got 3 rifle squads, but they're all reinforcing back at base. Not sure where those are going, actually. And now we get the glorious visuals of indirect fire. Just lots and lots of indirect fire. Are there really 2? Oh god, there's 2 pack howitzers too. Oh, nice dodge there by Nagano. We got a really late scout car. That's an interesting decision considering the captain's already on the field. It's going to be hard countered by just about any armor, or anything from that tier, really. Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, and I missed it. Scout car goes down. That one was not long for this world. Both teams playing very passively. Just kind of feeling each other out. Very similar strategy from both players, although I'd say this forward HQ is really keeping them on the field. Look at that. KW players harassing all the way outside Serrano's base, who actually has enough fuel for a major right now. Doesn't have the manpower for it. So we could be seeing some armor soon from the US player. And the Kubel's still alive. Kubel up to 5 kills now. I might have just cursed him though. Really nice shot there by the sniper. Damaged the engine of the Kubel. And the flanking riflemen actually have a shot at wiping that squad. I don't think they're going to get it. And the Sternpios move up to force off the captain once again. This Kubel is just being a pest. It's an absolute nuisance. Look at that. Oh, wow. MG was a bit overextended and actually gets wiped. Any sort of aggression from the Allies is just met with really staunch resistance. These LEIGs are just dominating. I mean, that's what we've seen. That's no surprise. Until it gets changed, people are going to keep building them and keep spamming them. I don't know if spamming is the right word. 2 LEIGs. Don't get in that house, please. Wow, that pack howitzer. Ah! Oh my god! Goes down. Infantry section eats a rifle nade, but they were green covers. They don't take too much damage. I'd like to see him use this sniper to maybe take some shots at these pesky LEIGs. This is just the nastiest map for these LEIGs and pack howitzers. There's just so much room for them to operate. Oh no, don't get in that house! No! Oh, that was close. So we're starting to see some flamers pop up on these riflemen. Actually lost one of them to the LEIG. He keeps sending these infantry sections, or these rifle company, or why can't I talk today? Too much beer last night. Keep sending these riflemen out to the field with not fully reinforced. He does have an ambulance over here though, so I guess that's what he's going for. He needs to get that major out, which I'm sure is on the way because he spent a bunch of fuel. Yeah, so the major's now on the field. And it looks like the pack howie got wiped by the LEIG! Woo! Indirect fire wars. Mortar's on the field now. Also going to try and do some work of his own. I hear that sniper shooting. Oh! Sniper gets gunned down by the LMGs. Whew. That's nasty. Sniper got caught out in the open, and it takes just about one burst from these LMG overs to wipe that sniper. We do have a commander choice from Nagano. He's gone with the infamous Vanguard operations. Uh-oh, grenade going in on that MG. Flame grenades do a ton of damage. They get out of there. Let's see if the pack howie actually might have barrage range on that HQ. If he moves it up just a little bit more. We'll see what the first view. Yep, there you go. Pack howie taking shots at the forward HQ. Allies under some serious pressure though. They've been triple capped for quite a while now. Ticked down to 150 VPs. Or ticked down 150 VPs. Kubel still suppressing stuff. This captain's gotta go. He's out of there. The Axis has actually decapped the fuel now. So lots of pressure from the Axis players. Oh, that was a nice preemptive retreat from that Grenadier squad. We saw that shot coming and retreated. Pack howie's doing pack howie things. And Allies are gonna regain control of at least one VP here. I don't know, it's a tough spot here for the Axis, and we do have a commander choice now. We've got the Breakthrough Doctrines commander, so later on, Mr. Yugno, however you say that name, is going to have that Jagdtiger in his back pocket.
A capture point is being overrun.
What's he spending all his fuel on? Oh, a Stuka. Alright. That works too. Makes sense. Deal with the pack howitzers quite nicely. Really nice dodge on all these grenades so far from both of these players, or from all these players. Allies down to 300 VPs. The Stuka is on the field. It's going to have a huge impact. There's an awful lot of just crap that it can barrage over here. Uh-oh. Lost another squad of infantry. I missed it. I'm assuming... Okay, there we go. I also missed that there is now a Centaur on the field. Man, solo casting's hard. I don't know how you do it, Romeo. Centaur's on the field. Is going to go for a wipe on these Sturms. Probably going to get it. Pack position nicely, though. There you go. The pack's backing up. Needs infantry support, I suppose. So the right side is pretty well locked down with this MG in the infantry section. They've also got their pack howies over here and 2 AT guns. This Stuka is just going to have a field day if he can spot all this stuff. That Centaur is just brutal. Might actually wipe it at max range here. Oh! Pack takes a shot at the Centaur, but it's blocked by the fence. And this rifle squad, oh, so close to going down. has to retreat. More Grens pushing in from the right side. Actually have this Vickers flanked. Stuka thinking about firing at something. It's been on the field. He's going to start itching for targets. Just needs vision. Looks like he's... No, hasn't spotted this wall of indirect fire yet. There's a good target. AT gun taken down to 2 men and the pack Howie taken down to 4. Not the impact I think he was probably looking for. 100 fuel is a pretty significant investment. You really need that thing to absolutely just outright wipe things. The good news for them is that it did a ton of damage to the actual gun itself. The gun itself gets wiped really, really rapidly by Stukas. AT grenade goes off on that Austrian. Look at how much health it has left. Just about one more shot from anything will actually outright destroy it. These two units are just outside of line of sight from one another. There you go. Centaur forces off the Ogres. Allies down to 250 VPs. Axis still maintaining VP pressure. Came narrowly close to resuming the triple cap. Just barely got his foot in the circle. The Allies are definitely on the back foot now. I don't know if they really have enough indirect fire to deal with all this. I mean, the U.S. doesn't have the greatest indirect fire. They've got the pack howitzer, but against the Stuka, it's going to get wiped pretty easily. And the British have almost no indirect fire, aside from the artillery commander and the mortar pit, but the mortar pit's frankly not an option this patch, so I don't know if the Allies are going to have anything to really deal with these LEIGs. I don't know what the Allies in general are supposed to do against LEIGs, to be quite honest with you, regardless of the commander. There we go. Case in point. There, up. What was I just talking? Got a commando glider going in. The air landing officer. 4-man commando squad with what is essentially Hoorah. It also buffs nearby units, which is quite nice. Bit of an underused ability, I think. And Easy 8 is on the field. That's going to be a little bit tricky for the Axis to deal with, although on this map with packs, you can really get the job done against armor. It's a pretty good map for packs. Not a lot of room for the Allied armor to flank. Stuka barrage going in on, hopefully, this blob here. Oh, man, nice shot. Wipes 2 MGs. No, not an MG. Bazooka, the captain. No, not a captain. I don't know why that's brought out of Bazooka. Nicely positioned Axis play here. Grenadier screening. Looks like white phosphorus going down. No, oh, it's that sector already, the assault already, and it got called in on the HQ sector, but oh, actually does pick up the ambulance. That's pretty big. All the other shells though managed to somehow miss. That's a bit unfortunate. Kind of expect more. Bunker positioned very nicely, also going to continue to deny any sort of aggression. Although the pack howitzers should have no problem clearing those out.
We've dropped to 200 points.
Centaur is going to have to back up for repairs. The Allies are down to 200 points. These are not looking good for the Axis. I mean, for the Allies, I'm sorry. 196 and still ticking. This is the only VP they maintain control of. With this forward retreat point right here, it's just so hard to actually push the Axis off. Rifle grenade wipes 2 men on the AT gun. Actually, LEIG clears it, and the packs are moving up to take shots on the Easy 8. Ooh, second shot misses, and the Easy 8 backs up behind the house. Stolen MG42's doing a nice job preventing this bit of aggression, but we have more already going down. It's the strafing run, so Toom has actually gone with the assault support doctrine. And this isn't the single pass close air support strafe, this is the strafe that will loiter for a while, so it's going to be around for a while. Nope, it's not. It got shot down by the Centaur. And it's gone. Rifleman and really close to being wiped here by that Ostwind. Oh, just barely skirts out of there. We've just got a stalemate. This classic Rails and Metal stalemate. Oh, Ostwind hits a mine. This is not good. Not good for that Ostwind. Easy 8.
Enemy threatening a capture.
Hops back, the crew hops back in there.
Weapon crew
Gonna try and chase down that Ostwind. Might get it. There's really nothing to stop them. The packs are all the way over here. Packs. Oh, there they are. Sorry. Packs are. Oh, attack ground just barely misses. White Phosphorus is going to drain a ton of health from those packs, but not a lot of models. Stuka Barrage going in. Oh, right. Oh my god! Oh, that could have been so much worse for Serrano. We got quite lucky there, actually. Things are just kind of unraveling now for the Allies. LMGs are starting to roll.
We lost a gun crew.
We've got LMGs on all these Grenadiers. We've got Obers. These Riflemen are going to try and retreat in the field. They really can't afford to retreat all the way back to base at this point. Down to 128 VPs, and the triple cap is still ticking. We've got a Cromwell on the field now. We've also got the, what's it called? Strafing support, which is basically like a P-47 run combined with anti-infantry strafe. So this is going to be enough to push the Axis back at least briefly. And move up with everything. Wow, that's not good. Easy 8 goes down. Eats a Faust and 2 pack shots. Cromwell's going to have to back off. British infantry moving up. These packs never got healed after the White Phosphorus. They're really... Oh man, if you could get both those packs, it might actually turn the game. Centaur pushing up. Desperate times. All the Allied infantry is pushing up as well. They've got this Ostwind flanked, but there's a bazooka on the Pioneer. Big Bad Tiger's also on the field. This is quite the push from the Allies, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. They're down to 83 VPs now. Stolen pack, taking shots on the Tiger, but the Tiger wipes the Centaur. Cromwell's going to try and flank. Ostwind's going to come up just to block. Oh, but they pick up the Ostwind. Bombing run on the pack clears the pack. I don't think this is going to be enough. There's nothing to stop this Tiger now. He's bouncing shots from AT guns. AT grenade bounces. And the Allies do manage to at least net themselves with 1 VP. Riflemen going to try and recruit this pack. Still not going to be enough. Stuka coming in, wipes the rifle squad. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. And the American player, Serrano, is down to just 2 infantry squads. Nagano also feeling the pressure, feeling the bleed. That being said, they did manage to wipe out a significant portion of the Axis army as well. OKW players still looking pretty good. They're going to go ahead and call it. GG, well played. Good stuff from the Axis there. Played nicely with this this little forward point here. I think the Allies were really crippled by lack of indirect fire. I mean, without a Soviet player, there's no Katyusha, there's no mortars. I mean, I don't know if you go mortars against the LEIG, but it's just tough to deal with on this map without some form of indirect fire. So we'll see how the our allied team responds next game.